Welcome once again, Leo. It's August 2016, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. I hope that's not too distracting in the background. I haven't done it to sort of look cool or anything like that. It's just, I've been exploring this. It's quite an interesting little program that allows you to put algorithms in and render them into visuals, which, you can alter the patterns and the pace. Anyhow, I digress. I just hope you don't feel too distracted by that. It's an interesting month this month because of the new moon occurring in your sun sign on the 3rd. And so things kick off to a good start there, notwithstanding the fact that you do have a rather difficult pattern in the 5th house of mind, future activities, amorous relationships and creativity. The brakes could be put on this month, and that will continue up until the 24th, starting at the beginning of the month, near enough to the new moon that we've just talked about. The frustration is a result of the conjunction of Mars and Saturn. Now this is interesting because Saturn has been transiting this 5th house of your horoscope for some time. Saturn brings in a certain amount of deliberation, which for you has probably been difficult. You're the joie de vivre, the life of the party, the sunshine, being ruled by the sun. And so this has weighed heavily on your head, and now that Mars is just moving into the same vicinity as this planet, you want to get moving, you want to get activated and motivated, but some of you may have become entrenched in this flat sort of rigidity. Now, I think we can loosen that, but it doesn't happen easily. And therefore you have this conflict of energy patterns, Saturn being the conservative, Mars being the progressive and the pushy sort of deliberate and also impatient one. So this for you, I think, because it's occurring in the area relating to your mind, I know most Western astrologers relate the 3rd house to the mind, that is the superficial mind. The 9th house is the higher mind, but the 5th house is the spiritual mind, the creative mind, the creativity. We talk about creativity. That is, in a way, a type of mind, and that's what's been obstructed in your case for quite some time now. So Mars is a friendly planet. It brings with it some dynamic and refreshing opportunities to change that, but that's not going to happen too easily. The other important thing that we see here is the full moon eclipse later in the month on the 18th in your 7th house of marriage and long-term committed relationships. Leading up to that, you have this separating trine from your ruler to Saturn. You have the trine to Uranus, which takes place on the 17th. And then on the 24th it moves, on the 23rd it moves into the sign of Virgo. So there's a lot happening this month for you, but it'll all focus and converge on your relationships around that eclipse time. And eclipses do have their own sort of karmic influences because they usually take place on or about the nodal axis, north and south nodes, which are all about karma. So we saw the new moon taking place in your sun sign on the 3rd, bringing with it a whole new sense of self. The eclipses can, in some cases, be damaging. They shake things up tremendously. Could it be that the new you is not what your partner wants? It could also be that the new you attracts a new type of partner. and that could be a karmic partner or a soulmate in some cases. Nevertheless, it is indicative of the fact that your relationships this month are an important and pivotal part of where you're going over the coming months. So you need to be open to what these energies are saying to you, Leo. For the most part, the aspects that are being formed by your ruler, the sun, this month are pretty good. Even if we've seen the devitalizing influence of Mars and Saturn in your 5th house. We see the beautiful conjunction of 3 benefics. Benefic means really positive planets, Venus, Mercury and Jupiter in your 2nd house. That rarely fails to bring with it some great financial benefits. You shouldn't worry about that. The problem you have is Moon commencing its transit in the 3rd house this month, giving you a bit of a wavering mind, especially in the movable sign of Libra. And if you know anything about Libra, that Libran moon will make you very indecisive. Yeah, no, asking someone else for advice, that's not like you, but that could happen this month. And that again rests upon what we've seen there with that long-standing, not too long-standing, but more recent transit of Saturn in your 5th house, bringing with it a bit of a dullness and a lack of enthusiasm that is usually a key signature of your personality. What else? Let's have a quick look. I think I'm done here, except to say that speaking of communication and decisiveness, I think when Venus moves into its own sign of Libra on the 30th, that's also a very lovely position to enhance the earlier transits relating to your relationships, meeting new people, and opening up some really, really wonderful cultural and artistic and creative lines of communication. Join me at astrology.com.au. There's more there for you, and naturally more there for you here next month if you'd care to join me again. I hope so. Take care for now. Bye-bye.